Hello everybody, good afternoon. We are making this video here because a Seahawks player won a well-deserved weekly award. That's right, Geno Smith. After an opening game where he was just kind of sort of okay, mediocre, forgettable, bounced back and had a monster performance and has been rewarded with the FedEx Air NFL Player of the Week. So great news there. You go over to the poll, the NFL.com poll page. You can see that the two quarterbacks he was up against, it wasn't too hard for Geno to win because both those guys lost. Kirk Cousins and CJ Stroud, while they had bigger numbers than Geno, they both lost their games. So I think Geno Smith was kind of a no-brainer pick anyway. But he's still up against not just these two quarterbacks. He's up against every other quarterback in the NFL that could be nominated that wasn't. Like Tua, I guess could have been thrown in there maybe. You could have found some other quarterbacks that played really well last week to nominate Daniel Jones. I'm actually surprised Daniel Jones didn't get nominated, but Geno beat them all. And Geno has been honored as the best quarterback in the league for this 1 week. So good for him. Congratulations to him. And you can see how he earned it through not just the numbers, because the numbers are really good. 32 of 41 for 328 yards and 2 touchdowns, plus the OT winner, and the way he played in that overtime being so good. But the real crux of this is how he played at the end of that game. There's this tweet from a Seahawks nerd. 10 snaps in the fourth quarter or overtime with the game on the line. 7 quarterbacks have met that criteria so far. And Geno Smith is first in several major categories. EPA plus CPOE, which is a stat I've talked about before, he's first. EPA per play, he's first. That's estimated points per, I believe, estimated points added per play. 0.704 first. Success rate, 71.4% first. And a almost 91 completion percentage, which is first. Now, I'm assuming all of these snaps happened in the Lions game because I don't think we had I don't think we had any snaps in the Rams game in the fourth quarter that had the game on the line. I'm pretty sure our win percentage was below 30 by that point. But yeah, there were obviously more than enough snaps in the fourth quarter with the game on the line to warrant this. So not only is Geno Smith putting up the numbers, not only is Geno Smith putting up the stats that are going to make the fantasy football guys pretty happy, he's also coming through when we need it the most. He's also hitting the plays he needs to make to allow us to win a close game. So, huge props to Geno Smith for the game he put up this week. And to talk a little bit more about what Geno's doing right now, this is his passing chart. This is from PFF, and I just want to take a moment to talk about what we're seeing here. So this is basically his effectiveness in each region of the field relative to the line of scrimmage. So this is behind the line of scrimmage, this is short, this is intermediate, and this is deep. So he's completed 10 out of 10 passes behind the line of scrimmage. Not big yardage, not big production or anything like that. He's, according to PFF, he's playing okay in that area, but we have issues running screen passes that are far bigger than any one player. It's been going on for so dang long. Short, he's doing okay. He's completed all but 4 of his passes in this area out of 29 passes. So he's, I think 25 of 29. No big plays. And again, PFF says in these regions he's doing okay, passable, nothing over the top, but good enough to keep things afloat. And then we have what is going on in the intermediate area. This is where things get really, really spicy. Look at how good he's been in the intermediate area of the field. 5 for 5 on the left side, 3 for 3 in between the numbers, and 3 for 3 on the right side. So he is cooking in all regions, and you can see his PFF grades are pretty fantastic in all 3 areas, especially to the left. But there's not any one thing that you can take away as a defense. You're not looking at this and going, okay, if we take away the middle of the field, he's not going to be able to do enough outside the numbers. Or if we take away the left side, he's not going to be able to do very much good. No, he is effective in all 3 areas, all 3 quadrants. Now, we haven't gotten a lot going deep yet. He's hit a couple of deep shots. He hit the one to Fant on the left side in the Lions game, and I think he had one on the right side in the Rams game. Might have been to Metcalf, but I'm not 100% sure. But not a lot going on deep yet. That's the one area where I think we need some work, but it's not like we've taken a lot of deep shots. It's not like he's being super inefficient. But kind of the thing I want to highlight here is within 20 yards of the line of scrimmage, how efficient he's been, how effective he's been, and in some cases he's been excellent. So we've got a quarterback here who he's not the best quarterback in the league, and I'll talk about that more in just one second here, but he's efficient and effective in all these different areas. Like even when Russell Wilson was in his prime and was one of the best quarterbacks in the league, there were things you could take away from him that would make him a much less a lesser quarterback. There were things you could do as a defense to really limit him and frustrate him and even make him downright mediocre. With Geno Smith, we're not really seeing that if you look at this kind of chart. And here's kind of the thing I want to arrive at the end of this video. Here's the kind of conclusion that I want to try to get people to understand here, because I know that Geno is still a little bit of a contentious topic in the Seahawks fan base. I think people need to understand exactly what it is we're talking about with Geno Smith. We're not just talking about a quarterback who can play effectively like this, a quarterback who is capable of being effective in all areas of the field, all aspects of the game. He can hit deep stuff, he can hit intermediate stuff, he can get the ball out quickly, he can do all these things, and he can be clutch. And then what we're giving up to get that. This is a list of quarterback contracts ranked by average annual value. And you got to go way down on this list. Most of you guys already know this, but you got to go way down this list to get to Geno Smith. He's at $25 million. There are several quarterbacks in the NFL that are making more than double Geno Smith average annual value. Burrow, Herbert, Lamar, Jalen Hurts, Wilson's almost there, Murray's kind of close to there. So you compare dollar to dollar. Who's getting more value out of their quarterback than Geno Smith? There aren't that many teams. Who's getting more value out of their starting quarterback than the Seahawks are right now, dollar for dollar? To further hammer this point home, there is one quarterback in the league on a real contract who is making less money per year than Geno Smith. It's Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's basically right there. He's $750,000 behind Geno. 24 million and 24 and a quarter million a year. Basically the same. Every other quarterback who's on a real veteran contract extension is making more per year than Geno, and usually by a pretty significant amount. Tannehill, Goff, Cousins, Rodgers. Now Cousins is a little different because it's a one-year deal, but still making more money per year. And I know Geno has escalators in his deal, but guess what? He's only going to meet those escalators if he plays really, really well. So most of these other quarterbacks do not have those escalators in their deal. So when he's doing that, he could play really well this season and not meet those escalators. That's possible. It's very possible that he has a good season, doesn't meet those escalators, and only ends up getting $25 million a year. That's like a realistic possibility. And think about the quarterbacks on this list who are getting paid way more than Geno, who aren't really getting it done. Like Russell Wilson, really not getting it done. Kyler Murray, now he's hurt, but not getting it done. Deshaun Watson, my goodness, not even close to getting it done. What's up with Josh Allen lately? Daniel Jones, is he better than Geno Smith? I doubt it. Some of these guys, I don't even know if they're better in a vacuum than Geno Smith. Ryan Tannehill, good example. Every quarterback who's behind Geno in average annual value on his deal is either named Jimmy Garoppolo, he's the one exception, but everyone else is on a non-traditional deal. Like you've got Jordan Love, who's making $13.5 million this year because he was completely unproven coming into the season. But they didn't want him on the rookie deal, so they cooked something up to at least give him something. But he's not a veteran. This is not a traditional circumstance. And everyone else, if you look at all these guys, they're all guys on rookie deals, or they're backup guys like Jacoby Brissett. So in terms of starting veteran quarterbacks, Geno is making bottom of the barrel money. And he is nowhere near bottom of the barrel in terms of play and production. Not even close. Now, Is he the best quarterback in the league? Of course not. There are many quarterbacks in this league that are clearly better than him. But per dollar, who's getting better value? If you asked me who I'd rather have between Geno Smith and Justin Herbert, of course I'm taking Justin Herbert. But would I take Justin Herbert at $52.5 million a year or Geno Smith at $25 million a year, knowing that I can get out of the Geno deal at any time and Justin Herbert I'm handcuffed to? That's different. That's a very different conversation. I'd probably still take Herbert, but it's close. It's tough. You guys got to understand also, the Seahawks are currently an organization that is not comfortable doing super backloaded contracts. If we had to give Geno market value, if Geno got what we saw guys like Derek Carr got or Daniel Jones got, the $35 to $40 million a year that those guys got, which Geno really could have reasonably asked for, the way he played last year, who are we not getting now? Are we not getting Draymond Jones? Are we not able to extend Uchenna Nwosu? Are we not able to... you guys see what I'm saying here, right? That money cannot... That money's not infinite. I know the salary cap is manipulable, but the Seahawks have shown they have a limited willingness to manipulate the salary cap. So we probably don't get some of those guys. Maybe Jarran Reed is another example of a guy that we wouldn't be able to get. So Geno Smith doing what he did last offseason, taking a significant discount in a world where every decent quarterback gets paid massive amounts of money just for existing. We don't even have as good of a roster as we do right now. And I'm not saying we have the best roster in the world, but it would be worse if Geno had taken what he could have gotten. And I just hope people appreciate that. I just hope people have an understanding of the value of that, how rare that is, and the kind of position it's put us in as an organization right now. All right. So shout out to Geno. Congratulations on the weekly award. See you guys later. Go Hawks.